Olodumare.
Hello, my people. Good evening. You're welcome to Opinion Sharers. And my name is Paul. And with me tonight, I have some friends, and we are going to be talking about Nigeria, their country. And I'm hoping that there are a lot of people that will be joining us to contribute, maybe in the comment sections. But before we do that, let's quickly go share the link as usual to invite people. So please take a few seconds. Uh, that's the guest. Please, let's quickly grab a mobile phone or whatever it is that you can grab and quickly share the link. So I'm going to be doing so from here now. So welcome to Opinion Sharers. In case you're just joining us, we're going to be talking about Nigeria. We're going to be talking about Pantami specifically and the tendency and the rise of terrorism over the decades in our country. And I'm sure that we have there are a lot of Nigerians, whether home or abroad, who are passionate about the country. But unfortunately, it has been like a mess, and there's been news about a day ago that even the presidency, as they would love to refer to it, that the presidency does not even mind Honorable Pantami. I have a video recording here. I'm going to be sharing it, where the Garba Shehu was saying, as far as the presidency is concerned, that Isa Pantami will continue to take his post. So let our guests quickly introduce themselves if they're finished sharing. Let's start with Omi.
Hello, friends. My name is Oluwatosin, but now I will love to be called Citizen Oluwatosin. Recently, I've understood that I occupy the position of citizen of Nigeria, and this is the highest position Nigeria has. Because even if you have a political office now, very soon you come back from it and become citizen. So I'm citizen Oluwatosin Omi, and because I'm a citizen of Nigeria, I can criticize, I can scrutinize those that I am being paid to work for me in a political office. And that's why I'm here today.
Okay, thank you. Timileyin.
Good day, everybody. My name is Timilen Yogutuyaki. I am a bona fide Nigerian.
A bona fide
Yeah,
Nigerian.
yeah.
I
Thank
still,
you so much.
okay.
Mola Ogun Michael by name. A full-blooded Nigerian, of course. Sometimes you may get tired about what is happening in our polity, but one thing remains. For the sake of generation after us, we can't just afford to keep quiet. So, good evening, our viewers.
Okay, thank you, all of you. And I think our last guest is joining already. Hello, we are on air already. And if you can hear me, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, I can hear you from here.
Okay, please introduce yourself. You're on air.
Yeah. My name is Nicodemus Igo Wagner.
Okay, I believe I remember the Nicodemus very well. Thank you. And just in case you're just joining us, I've said earlier that we are going to be talking about Minister Issa Pantami and the terrorism ideology. It has become like a trend in Nigeria. And few years ago, when I was growing up as a young man in Nigeria, if you would say a Nigerian would, easily carry gun and begin to shoot his fellow Nigerian, as in not one, not two, not three, I would argue. In fact, you remember that young boy who was on a plane going to the US and they
Mo-
was supposed to have bombed that airplane, Abdul Muttalab. When I heard that, I said, like that boy cannot be a Nigerian. That was me in my myopic mind as at that time. But I think a lot of things have since changed, you know. So these are various issues that we're going to be looking at today. And I have passionate Nigerians who are here, and they're going to be sharing their opinions regarding this. But before then, I have a couple of videos that I want to show us. Some of them are very brief, some of them are, up to 5 minutes, some of them more, regarding what is happening, just in case some people might not be conversant with what is happening. But then, before I bring out some of these videos, let me hear uh, let me hear Michael's thoughts regarding the the minister.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I would love to start by comment by saying that we are all sojourners on the surface of the earth. Everything whatsoever we do, we definitely have to be guided by history, whether in the dark or in the open. But sometimes we, quote and unquote, may be very unfortunate, no matter how highly profiled we may be, that history may bring those things that we have done, that we thought we have done or we have escaped from. History will definitely bring them out. And that is the reality that is showing itself to Isa Pantami at this material time. Of course, we know Isa Pantami to be a scholar, so to say, and of course, beyond the academics, he is also a religious scholar. But this is someone, despite being relatively young, when he gave some very unpatriotic statement about who that happened to be a threat to national security, we now discover that almost after 2019 or 20 years later, what he said is beginning to come to reality. And even beyond that, there has been accusation and counter accusations that even in some of his research work as a scholar, he has made some publications. So what I'm saying in essence is this: a lot of damage has been done by these individuals, though some quarters of the community, the country may not agree, particularly his loyalists and political associates. But truth be told, just like I was discussing with my brother Nick, that was the day before yesterday, it is very easy to radicalize a mind, but de-radicalizing a mind is almost not impossible. And this is an individual that has preached, that has radicalized the mind of people, and people have further gone to radicalize themselves beyond religious ideology to the point of maybe, quote and unquote, weaponizing themselves to the detriment of our nation at large. So, what I'm saying in essence is this: history has fetched him out, and that is why we are here to discuss this evening. So, I look forward to others making a very germane contribution as we have the conversation forward. Thank you.
All right, Michael, thank you. Timla, you want to say something? I'm still arranging my videos.
Okay, thank you. It's very unfortunate that we can have um, someone from that highly esteemed office to be accused of this kind of to be accused of this kind of thing, because this is not just something that could cause national insecurity. Of course, we know that over the years, insecurity has evolved in Nigeria, but this is also something that could divide the nation, because we live in a society whereby people remain mute when their sacred cows have been touched. People do not want to make contributions. When people that are standing by them in the same religious party, political party, tribal party, cultural party, when you are on the same side, you don't want to talk. I think I read something that his friend, I can't really remember his name, I think Farouk Perogi, what he said on Twitter. It is very unfortunate that such friend could be bringing something like religion into this kind of situation where everybody is tensed. The country is sitting on a very timed bomb, and the time bomb is very timely at this point in time because Pierogi said, "Well, you cannot completely accuse my friend, knowing very well that his wife at home had told him that you shouldn't contribute into this matter because you will not make any sane contribution since he is your friend." Now he dragged his shamelessness on Twitter and he said, "Well, he is my friend, but you remember what Bishop Davido Oyedepo said about Holy Ghost fire or something?" I mean, that's very, very ridiculous from supposedly well-read people, from highly educated people, from persons of high regard, from people that people are looking up to, for people that, that are supposed to be people's mentors, that are supposed to be people we are looking up to imitate. But it's very unfortunate that we do not understand the significance of consequence. If it could make such statement, even if it is 50 years ago, it will still stand against him. Why? Because this is a very sensitive position he is holding in the country. He has vital information. He has almost everybody's information. Anybody that has registered, he has this information at his disposal. So these people could connect the dots and eventually say, well, this government is up to something bad, something creepy. So it is, I would just say it is highly shameful. There are some situations that come up and you are not proud to call yourself a Nigerian because the Nigerian government is defending shame, is defending shame of the highest order. So I mean, all I have to say is just that the conclusion is that it is shameful. It is shameful not because of his personality alone, but for the stand of the federal government and some unreasonable nationals of Nigeria.
Thank you. Tosin,
I thank you for having me, and Mr. Michael and Mr. Timley have really said a lot. I I get so sad. I become so sad with Mr. Timley's contribution, but at the same time, I want to borrow the words of our radical lawyer. What's the name? Dele Rotimi. Dede Farotimi. This afternoon, he said, if a madman in Nigeria says something today, he said, don't argue with the madman, because in few years now, what the madman is saying and you think is totally wrong will be proven right by the Nigerian state. And you that you think you are in your sane mind, you will now look stupid to yourself. Now, Pantami, what happened to him is one thing, and the stand of the Nigerian state is another thing. Mr. Michael say when he was young, I don't want to go with that, and I strongly disagree with that. It is if you made a statement in your early 30s, it's not when you are young. When somebody is young, is 18 and below. So if he's 30 years more and more, and he makes such statement, it is not when he's young. And what is more saddening is the stand of Nigerian state. And you see, in the time of this government in particular, the government of Muhammadu Buhari, because for me, I like to be specific and mention name. No need to be, no, we should mention their name so that it will be on record that so person and so person. In this government of Muhammadu Buhari, there seems to be a government of the north and for the Hausa Fulani and all. In some month ago, one of the minister had a typical problem. Kemi Oshun something, the finance minister, she resigned voluntarily. Not that she was sacked, she resigned voluntarily. And that is what is expected of Pantami at this time. You have made such comments. You have not come outside to apologize to to Nigerians. You have not come to retrace that comment that I made this comment when I was young and I was stupid then. Now I want to take back those words. No. What he's just trying to do is to defend himself that he was younger then and all that. Another thing is this: the House of Representative, most especially the Senate we have now, they are very useless.
Tosin, let me
I'm
come back to that. Let's come
okay.
back to that. Okay. Let's hear from Nicodemus first. Nicodemus, what's your when you first of all heard about this Isa Pantami, and maybe you have seen some of the audio record, what was your you know intuitive response or feeling as a Nigerian? Sorry, we can't hear you. You have to unmute yourself. No, check the screen and
Okay, I
unmute
should
yourself.
unmute.
Yeah, we can hear you now. Go ahead.
I have done that.
Yeah,
Can you hear me
go
now?
ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. When I heard about this on social media, on other, let's say, press medias, I was not too shocked in the sense that prior before this time, we've had some news that Nigeria is heading under the present administration for Islamization. My angle might be might be very different from every other person's approach to this. For Pantami to be the Minister of Information, which is actually the most sensitive ministries in the country, and he is a sympathetic terrorist. Let me put it that way. Or terrorist or terrorism sympathizer. It's not something that just came up in a day. It is a plan work. There is a network, whether we like it or not. That's how it is. With what I just heard or what I've been hearing concerning him, if Nigeria will speak the truth or Nigerians will speak the truth, we all should know that Pantami being there is not there on his own. Because yesterday, I heard what the presidency said, that they aligned swiftly with what he said, that he was younger at the point he made such comments and all that. Then, what happened to Femi Adeosun? What happened to this man from, or is it your state? The minister that resigned out of certificate forgery, or which, that's NYC stuff. Presidents never back those persons. But now, they just easily back this Pantami of a person. You see, my brothers, I would have actually loved this group more if we had, I don't know, our religious affiliations, if we had at least half Muslims who are from the core north, then you listen more and hear what they will say. You see, Nigeria will work. We all believe that. But on this, a minister of information who holds this communication we are having now, they can make record of it. Yes. All the conversations that happen in Nigeria, even the BVN, bank transactions, NIN, our registrations, from what's it called? Immigration.
Sorry, bro.
Everything. They are all under. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, you are
Oh
muted.
yeah, I'm having the. Not from here.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry for the glitch. You see, we're in a very sensitive era in Nigeria. We're at a blink. We're at a blink of disaster. That is how I say it. We all should speak up in every capacity that we find ourselves. At every level, we think we can influence others. You know, there's an adage in my side that a madman and someone who pretends to be mad are different. Someone who pretends to be mad we act like a madman on the ground that a madman said, I put fire in the bush here, but where he burns to, I don't know. I'll light this place. That's exactly what Pantami has done. Pantami was deliberately radicalizing people through his preaches because I've been opportune to have close
argue that
relationship with
Mr. Pantami necessarily
Sorry,
will
bro.
not
uh,
be the
Let's
only
let's
person who
listen
can
to this.
handle that office. With the
Can you guys
decision
hear
of
it?
President Buhari to side with Mr. Pantami, are you not worried of the message the presidency might be passing to the world on terrorism, issues relating to religious extremism, are the views that are growing that this government just gave a tacit support to such? I'm saying to you, those people who stand in criticism of this position of a man who has said he had wronged himself, he had wronged society, has apologized and changed, and they are not willing to forgive him to move on, they are the ones who are the problem. They are the ones who are deeply intolerant and who are telling the world that yes, in this country we also have a set of people who don't forgive, who don't want to move in. And so therefore they are a problem to the society. So we should take it tonight that the presidency is saying that Mr. Pantami will not, his position will not be reviewed, no matter what the agitations from Nigerians who are bothered about our reputation on issues of terror. I should just leave it as that. Mr. Pantami is still going to be a minister. That's what you're passing tonight, isn't it? Please allow me to stay on my brief. I speak for the
having great
president
network with
when he
you.
speaks.
Baby,
When I know his thoughts,
network problem.
I would say them. As we speak, I've not been briefed about Mr. Pantami's continued stay in the government.
Okay, guys. I'm sure you heard that. Okay. So now that is the position of the presidency. So-called presidency, and it is shameful. I was angry. As a Nigerian, like citizen Oluwatosin said, is a citizen, and every one of us we've been passionate about Nigeria, and for the presidency, whoever the presidency is, to come and say they are speaking because they are supposed to be speaking on our behalf. And I'm saying that as far as they are concerned, though, as far as Nigeria is concerned, though, that guy has not done anything wrong because he did it many years ago and he's been forgiven. Okay, so he should take a bow and we forget about it, that it never happened. Now, the implication of this is that, and before I move on, he said that the people who have refused to forgive Pantami, they are the ones that's actually having a problem now. So it is you and I that is at fault. That's the implication of this. It is people like us who are commenting on social media, people like us who are having this kind of organization and saying, no, this is not right, because we are citizens, and then we it is wrong. It is just wrong. Honestly, for the presidency or whoever, I really don't get it. Anyway, now let me say something a little bit so that I don't appear too biased. And I want to say this with all sense of responsibility. And that is the fact that an average Nigerian is stupidly religious. whether he's a Muslim or he's a Christian or he's a herbalist or whatever it is that he worships. So now, as much as we have people who have said things in the past, whether a Christian or Muslim, there are many pastors who have taught things that are wrong in the past. There are places in Lagos, Ibadan, maybe in the early 2000, when you are passing and all these Muslim, they are preaching with their microphone, big microphone on the street, you will see them speaking Yoruba and calling Christian Kriyo. Do you understand? Those of us who live in Yoruba major cities, we will be familiar with this. I hope that such things don't happen anymore. And the same thing is happening in the church as well. Okay, it is happening in the church. But now, where this becomes issue is because when you look at the trajectory of terrorism in Nigeria, and you find out that this brings shame to all of us. It doesn't only bring shame to all of us. You know, nobody knows when they see you as a Nigerian, they don't know whether you come from the north or you come from the south. They just say you carry the green passport. Severally, in fact, I cannot name the number of times that I've carried my passport. As soon as they see you are a Nigerian, they will say you stay on one side. So they will check you again. After the machine have checked you and clear you, that is the implication of what is happening. Because they are thinking maybe I may hide bomb inside my pint. You know, that machine may not have seen because I'm a Nigerian. And now when this kind of thing is happening, now I'm going to be asking those of us who are traveling abroad or people who are are based abroad. What do you think this will what kind of perception do you think this will give for us? Let me start with Timilei.
I think there are many ways to this particular issue that you just raised. So the first is about emotion. The second is about security. And the third is about morals and virtues. So the first thing, apart from that, in fact, it still links again to intelligence. First, an average Nigerian, when they see you abroad, especially in society, I'm in Canada, when they see you, so they will look at you and they will be like, so you are one of those people that voted that man into office. I'm telling you, the people we live, like my neighbors, they ask me like, how did we do it? Like they have not heard our president talk. In fact, they were making reference to Goodluck Jonathan that they had him speak, they had him do this and that. But this one, I never knew people were following Nigerian politics. But I knew that it was especially because of NSAS protest, people now tried to make some research about Nigeria, that what exactly could be going on, that people could be shot just because they were protesting. So that's the first thing. They think when they see you, they will be like, okay, I think this is a confirmation that these guys are monkeys. So that affects the perception people have about us in terms of intelligence, in terms of thinking deep, in terms of making logical conclusions, in terms of analyzing things deeply, and and all around. So that's one. Secondly, security. Nobody trusts any Nigerian except you have proven yourself like to be trusted. So people do not actually trust Nigerians. Where you just made mention of screening at the airport. I have experienced it so many times, and it affects me emotionally and psychologically so many times, because I'm not like, I become confused each time I go through even within Canada. I travel from one place to the other in Canada, and then just because I was using I'm using the green passport, they will have to say, you stay here, and they will just, Canadians have a way to make things look as if no problem. But that's how you get into trouble if you are not careful, So that's how they will just tell you, let me just see this. There was a time I was really embarrassed. I was taken to another room to put off everything that I was putting on. And in fact, I was really embarrassed. I was really mad at myself and at the country entirely, because it's not their fault. It is easy to generalize based on facts. because they are not assuming. It is facts. Everything speaks for itself. And I was also talking about emotion. You know, when someone sees you and say, "Hello, how are you?" I remember you told me you're a Nigerian. How are your people at home? Are they safe? You know, I never had the idea that my people were not safe until someone would tell me, "Are they safe?" You know, they read it, they listen to it in the news and they see everything. So it really makes me feel bad that my mom and dad might not really be safe. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it is not only about virtue morals, it's not only about security, it's about emotions, it's about the way they look at us. You know, when you make some, you know, when I speak here and people listen to me, they feel like someone walked up to me and told me, "So you can speak English this good?" That is the level. That is the level of I don't know. I don't know. That's the level at which they see us. Like these people must not, they can't really be intelligent for them to have this set of people as leaders. And this thing keeps happening every 8 years. So now we want to get Buhari out. Okay, he's going to finish his term by 2023. Another idiot is going to come in. That is it. And every leader you see up there, it is politically correct that every leader you see up there is an offshoot of the people. He is an average Nigerian. So that is it. And I can't blame them for that. It only tells so badly on me.
All right, Timileyin, thank you. You see, earlier today, when I saw this Shehu Garuba, I was really mad, and some of my one of my Kenya friend heard me, and he said, "Paul, you guys voted for him, so you should stop being angry here." And you know, and I felt embarrassed, but that is the truth. Nigerians voted for him. He didn't for. I mean, well, let's say maybe there was some level of corruption, but we allowed it. We have to hold ourselves responsible. Anyway, we are not exonerating him. Let me hear from Tosin. Tosin is in Dubai, and I know that a lot of people in Dubai actually. Anyway, let's hear from Tosin. What's your experience with as being in Nigeria and looking at what is happening now? Don't forget that some months ago, the government of Dubai actually arrested some Nigerians, you know, that they are funding Boko Haram or funding their terrorism generally, and the Nigerian government denied. In fact, this country was actually pointing that there are people in the Buhari administration that's probably harboring these people, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's hear you.
Uh, Thank you very much. Staying abroad and being in Nigeria is very difficult. Some 2 days ago, I was in discussion with a Kenyan friend, and who cannot believe that in Nigeria we don't have stable electricity. And you know, it's very disheartening that every country is looking at Nigeria to be here. And recently, it is now clear to them that we are just very low, that we are just the least in Africa. Now, it is not Nigerians, it is not really Nigerians that are making the nation or the country look bad like that, but the country is beginning to look bad really more because of the people we have in power, because of our politicians, and especially the people we have in power now. You can imagine if a whole presidency or a whole spokesperson to the president is coming out to the national TV to throw the weight of the presidency behind a member of the cabinet that has been accused of terror of speech that is supporting terrorism on national TV. And you know, in the video you played, he went ahead to say he's not been briefed on that, so as to cover his shame. You have not been briefed on that, and you come to the national TV to be interviewed on the same topic, and you have not been briefed on it. You know, to the entire world now, an average Nigerian look as stupid as the Nigerian government now. If you the name Nigerian has never been this ridiculed throughout the whole world like we have
10
it right
years ago,
now.
a violent uprising began.
Wait, Tosin, let me quickly play this thing because I want us to get to the level of ideology. You see, this is not just about crime. A lot of Nigerians are saying, and to excuse Nigerians, I've seen a lot of people around the world who say terrorism is not has nothing to do with religion. And each time I hear it, I've seen it, as much as people like Obama, whom I seriously respect, I've heard them say terrorism is not about religion. You know, and I'm not trying to exonerate Christianity, because when you look at the Bible also, there's so much crime that is there. There's so many things that has happened in the past that has ruined the life of people in the name of God. The same way you have it in Quran. Okay, and that is the fact that we have to realize, and we have to also tell ourselves as Nigeria, because I believe that one of the greatest challenge, one of the greatest evil that's affecting and impacting Nigeria is religion, both Christianity and Islam. In fact, both religion has joined hands to eradicate every other religion. Yet our life has not been better. So let me play this just to show you about this is a documentary by BBC. So I just wanted to play it to give an insight into what I'm going to talk about.
Since then, it's shaken the northeast of Nigeria and neighboring countries. It's a conflict that's killed more than 30,000 people and displaced millions more. I'm talking, of course, of Boko Haram. But who are Boko Haram? And why has Nigeria's battle with them lasted over a decade? So how did it all begin? Boko Haram means Western education is forbidden. It was formed by this man, Muhammad Yusuf. He hated the West and was very critical of the government, which he saw as corrupt and un-Islamic. He set up a religious complex, including a mosque and an Islamic school in Maiduguri, the capital of Borno State. He was a charismatic speaker whose followers were a mixed bag, not only some of society's poorest, but also upper class and university students who invited him to speak on campus.
They accepted the ideology, they accepted the belief of establishing a theocratic Islamic state, and all the people who joined him, even though Muhammad Yusuf was attending to their needs, he was providing some social services to them, but the core reason why most of them joined is the ideology.
In July 2009, Boko Haram staged a failed operation.
Now, if you hear what he said, what that guy said, he said the major reason, see, Yusuf was actually making provision, because the actual aim or goal of Al-Qaeda, groups such as Al-Qaeda, is to have a state that is governed by Islam. That is just the major thing. And if you see what ISIS also is doing, that is what ISIS is also doing. The only thing is that there is the weight which they are going by it is different. Okay, so in fact, I have a video here that said the last days of Osama bin Laden. He was actually saying that they should not show crimes. That when you kill somebody or you behead somebody, don't show it on TV. Let us persuade them. Let us appeal to them. And that's why I believe that what is happening in the north, why this Boko Haram has lasted this long, is because a lot of people in the north, and I'm sorry to say, I'm not trying to be biased, a lot of people are buying into it. It is in this video record that was made by BBC. It was said that this Yusuf was being invited to the universities to speak to professors, to speak to university students. They bought the idea, the ideology rather, and that's why it has lasted this long. It's not just about the crime. It's not because Nigerian army cannot conquer the Boko Haram and all these things. It's because a lot of people believe in the ideology. That is the point that I'm trying to make. And then, Village Boy, you're welcome.
Thank you.
So I want Michael I want to hear Michael's opinion regarding the fact that this is an ideology. Okay, and we have been. For me, I'm going to describe us as a people who have buried their head in the sand. We have been saying, oh, they are not Muslims. In fact, in that video, there was a lady that was interviewed. She was saying these people are not Muslim, but it's a lie. It's a lie that we've been lying to ourselves. A lot of respectable people around the world have been saying, oh, it has nothing to do with religion. Michael, let me hear your opinion.
Yeah, thank you so much. Let me say that everything boils down to the insensitivity of government to issues. And when I say insensitivity now, there's some level of sensitivity in their insensitivity. How do I mean? Insensitivity in the sense that that is what is being projected to the public, but sensitivity in the sense that underneath there are things that may actually not be open to the public eyes. We are discussing here because there's some level of intuition in us, things, questions popping us in us, begging for answers. And of course, as logical as we are, we can provide answer to some of these questions. But if going forward, let me say, just quickly make a point to Mr. Tosin that I never at any time said Issa Pantami was young. I was only trying to reference his comments and commentaries of others by saying that, okay, he said he was in his 30s when he made that statement. Of course, some of us here were in our 30s, and of course, we can't make such a scandalous statement. It shows how sensitive we are to some issues. But addressing the question of, I mean, my perception to these issues. See, I want to subscribe to the ideology of Mr. Nick by saying that some things may probably have been orchestrated that may not be open to the eyes of every one of us. If Pantami, this is a man that has never headed any communication sector, as alleged. He has never worked in any telecommunication industry, and he has been in the classroom all through his life. But one thing he was famous, I mean, he's been famous for, is his approach, his preaching, his indoctrination. And of course, just like Mr. Paul said, in this issue we are talking about in terms of indoctrination, not that even in Christendom some things are right. We have seen preachers that have preached and have condemned it outrightly in my own way, that under no condition should anybody tell me that I should not associate with Muslim. Before the advent of religion, there was, I mean, humanity has been in existence, and we must continue at first to respect human dignity in people. So don't relate with me because you are a Muslim, a Christian. Don't relate with me because you're a traditional worshiper. Relate with me because you are a human being. Respect my human dignity, respect my life. Don't have any reason to say you want to take my away my life. So, in essence, looking at Pantami's scenario, it shows that we have a government that became very insensitive, because before you can become a political office holder in Nigeria, some level of background check must have been carried out. Perhaps as security operatives did a good job, who knows? But some things may probably have been turned down without the public knowledge. Maybe they may have come across some of these when they were doing the background check, SSS, NIA, and what have you. This may have been done, but in terms of political favoritism, in terms of ethnic biasness, religious biasness, we tend to overlook some of those things at the detriment of our nation, and see the way Nigeria is being marked red in the global map now because of Pantami's case. I doubt if there is no any part of the world that this issue is not being had. So it is very, and the government, I mean the presidency now, because when we talk about presidency, permit me to say this before I stop. I think some individuals, the likes of Gerbasheu, the likes of Femi Adesina, these are guys that are even presenting themselves, quote and unquote, as the presidency. Though we understand that they are the spokesperson of the president, but of course we understand some level of challenges our president may have. They are speaking for him, but are they actually reading through the consciousness of Nigerians? Are they putting into consideration all of this? Presidency is an institution, not an individual, just like Aisha Yesufu said. So, and until we make our political office holders realize that the institution belongs to the people and not to an individual, this type of quagmire, this type of imbroglio may not depart from us anytime soon. And I hope the earlier we wake up from our slumber, see what happened today in Imo State. The house of Governor Hope Uzodinma in his village being razed down as a result of some of these things. There are people, perhaps, that may have been preached, conscientized about issues like this. It was in the northeast before. Now it is going to the southeast. For how long shall a nation continue to bleed? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Michael. I'm going to bring in the village boy, and the question I'm going to ask the village boy is: would you describe? I don't know if you were already here when I played that track about Garba Shehu speaking on president or the presidency, whether he's speaking on President Buhari or speaking on behalf of the presidency. That would you say it is insensitive or they just don't care?
Thank you so very much. I had listened to most to the earlier conversation you guys were having. Um, I know that emotion is very high. One of the statements that you guys have made is I can see a lot of emotion in it, and I can also see the a lot of energy of the youthful energy in it, which is all right. One of the issues which many of us have written about for a long time is the issue of impunity in the system. Is the issue of lack of accountability. It is the issue of lack of consequences. People do things and get away with them, and nobody give a damn. So if we want to even pin down the issue of religion, let us not let us put other things in perspective. Let us forget whether it is a Muslim extremism or a Christian extremism here now. There is a way, there is a minimal requirement for governance. And there's a minimal requirement in the sense that the people, what you may call the office of the citizen, I'm not talking of Oluwatosin now, the office of us collectively as citizens is supposed to be the highest office. In which case, whatever is being done, it is the consideration for the satisfaction, for the acceptance, for the approval of the citizen that should be a top priority. But these are things, these are elements that we don't see in our nation. The citizens we are like the last fiddle, not even second fiddle now. Nobody give a damn about the citizen because the citizen, unfortunately, or wittingly, I will say, we have surrendered our sovereignty to the people in government for exchange for some loaf of bread. Because we don't treat those in government as our servants, we treat them as our masters. And because we treat them as our master over time, they have the psychological effect of that is that they believe they have to lord it over us. So whatever we say, we are just ranting. I was going through Twitter yesterday. Somebody was saying, "Oh, you guys, these are people are overrated because people are shouting, making the more noise on Twitter, and government did what they have to do. In a very decent society, where dignity, where consequences hold sway, you don't even need to convince Pantani himself to resign. I, before this thing got to this point, he would have put in his paper. And a government that is accountable to the people, whether he is guilty or not guilty, the first thing that they have to disengage him and carry out thorough investigation. So I read the initial prior release by Shehu Garba that in 2006 Pantani was in in his 20s and that he will be 50 next year. I said that okay, maybe Garba did not use Lacombe. I used Lacombe when I was in elementary school, and I know mathematics and arithmetic very well. That how can somebody in 2006, 15 years ago, in his 20s, will be 50 years next year? But it's Nigeria. Like I remember in 1980, they were talking of 12 to third. So we have a lot of mathematical abracadabra in Nigeria. So this is not this is in print. This is documented that when this guy was talking in 2006, he was in his 20s. That the guy will be 50 next year. Okay, so maybe the guy was a footballer before because you will never know the true age of the footballer in Nigeria. So I think that there are issues of impunity, sir. And when we talk about ideology that you asked the other time, ideology has nothing to do with religion. Ideology has to do more with economics and politics, political theory, political policy. That is, it is on the basis of the ideology that country develop economic and political policies. It has nothing to do with religion. So the issue here now, if you put religion constant, It's like we are dealing with impunity. We are dealing with lack of consequences. We are dealing with government who have no respect, who have no regard for the people they govern over, because they see themselves as masters. And permit me to say, what we run in Nigeria is not democracy. What we run in Nigeria is feudalism. And in feudalism, the master is always right. Thank you.
Okay, Village Boy, thank you very much. I would like to mention the fact that you see when you scroll through the supporters of Pantami on Twitter, you find out that a lot of them, in fact, a lot of them actually. There's a picture last week. There was a picture of was it okay? No, it was earlier this week. A picture of this guy, this activist. Forgotten his name now. That was cancelled, and they were
Adeyanju.
yeah, thank you, Deji. They were circling it that they lay a fatwa on him. And people were saying, all the people that were supporting him were saying this is anti-Islam. So there's religion evidently in it. And, anyway, let me ask Nicodemus this question. Now, do you think that we have to do more than we are doing as Nigerians in order for us to get response, to make them recognize us? I mean, like the village boy said, the office of the citizen, and even Tosin also said that the office of the citizen is supposed to, I guess it doesn't work in Nigeria, to be the highest office. But what are we supposed to do to get them to do our biddings?
Thank you very much. Um, the system we have in Nigeria has suffocated and stifled the voice of vibrant Nigerians. And is, this was done deliberately in order for them to remain in power. Look at what happened with NSAS protest. That was the most powerful, promising, non-bloodshed intended revolution that would have happened in Nigeria, but was tackled out with ease. The fire was quenched with ease, and also using the youth to fight themselves. The youth, I mean, even those persons who are being paid on the payroll of the federal government, who are police officers, or they're just in quote, together, law enforcement agencies. You see, my brother, there are a lot we can do. Like this very platform, you are doing very well. We just need to speak on Twitter, on Facebook, WhatsApp, even on phone calls to persons who will listen to us. We can talk to them, even enlighten our family members. Let Nigerians know that we have power. Sometimes people will say, your vote don't count. But I now ask them one question. Why do politicians bring money to polling units? If your vote will not count, they bribe you to vote. You say your vote don't count, but yet they are paying heavily for it.
Thank you.
Likewise, our voice counts and speaks every time. But how and what's the direction? Are we channeling it? There is separations, through ethnicity, religion, age-wise. You know, like our that is it. You call me village boy. I can't. Sorry, I'm using that word.
Yes,
Uh,
the village
okay,
boy.
okay. Village boy is most matured among us, and from his open speech, he talked about the youth, the youthful strength, the youthful emotional stuff with our voices. That also, me, I read through lines. Fine, he's with us, he's speaking well, and he has spoken well. There is this division between the classes we have in Nigeria. the youth and the elderly. The elderly in Nigeria believe that the youth don't have direction. The youth always go for violence, you know, is there. Then we're not talk about religion. Religion is what they are just doing is divide and rule. And because the youth has been so suppressed out of nothingness, you graduate, you are a master's degree holder, you are a PhD holder, you don't even have money. So when they give you peanuts, you swim in. You go. If you do it against your own will, we have people. Look at this Ahmed, somebody who is part of the media of President Muhammad Buhari. He's very intelligent. He's a youth. Is he working for the youth? I don't think so. Many of these persons whom you even this, if we check by age and how things are, even this patterning of a person, it can still be rated as youth. But look at the governor of Kogi State. He's the youngest governor. Look at how what he's doing. No, it's just crazy. What we can only do, my brother, is or my brothers, what we can only do is and try to conscientize people around you. Because it takes 1, 2, 3 to change the whole society. Yes, and this must be done with physical contact, physical words. You know, people will see your facial expression, they will see your body language. Not you. When you type on Facebook, who sees you? But we don't know you. Only like now we are looking at our faces, and you can see my energy, and I see your energy while you speak. This is the only thing that can help Nigeria, so that we can have a collective community of elite and intelligent people. Because it is intelligence that will help us, not money. That's the truth. Most of us
Okay.
don't even know our left from our right. We need to, even fathers, mothers, we need to trickle this knowledge down, what we feel and see in Nigeria, down to the most vulnerable ones. That's why I don't like democracy. The reason I don't like democracy, because it is of numbers, and the non-tenants have it, and they have the highest number of illiteracy.
Oh, I think we lost you there
Thank you
because
so much. Let me end it there because I'm
okay.
getting emotional.
It's okay. Emotion is part of what makes humans human. So it is okay to be emotional. Chimlai, now my question is simple. Would you describe Nigeria as a secular state?
Thank you for that question. It's a very complex question because if I would describe Nigeria based on what is on paper and what should be, Nigeria should be a secular state. But the reality of things is that the government, as everybody on this platform now agrees that the government is using its power to do whatever they want. So, well, the country is supposed to be secular. The country is in fact secular, but with the gestures, with the body language of the government, it looks like we are tending towards one side of religion. You are muted.
Oh, sorry. Tosin,
Yes.
would you describe Nigeria as a nation where religion is not the major factor that of our decision making?
Yeah. Before now, we can say Nigeria is a secular state, but I'm somebody that usually like to give blame to government and especially to the head, because the fish will stink from the head. Ever since this present administration come to power, Nigeria has seems to be the secular state. that it has pretended to be before now. And ever since this administration come to power, Nigeria seems to everything, every focus and attention has since come from one part of the country, and in this regard, making the rest part of the country look like they are minority, or that they are second class citizen in the country. Because even in this case of Pantami and all, if you will go through comment on the social media and even from the presidency, those that are supporting the same guy are from his religion, and which is not supposed to be. Now, we can all condemn this. I like the question you asked Mr. Nick the last time, that now what do we do? Now, how do you go forward from here? And that is solution, and that is providing solution to the present problem, because we can discuss problem from now to infinity. But if we don't discuss the solution, now how do we move forward? Now, moving forward, every one of us need to start talking. Like he said, we need to start engaging people around us. People around us should start knowing the right thing to do, the right thing to act. Some months ago, there was NSAS protests and all that, but now I think the youth have gone back to sleep. And it is very unfortunate that they have chosen to sleep at the wrong time. They need to build on the gains that we have made during the NSAS protests, and not to go back to sleep. Everybody should start talking and start acting. Everybody should start asking questions from those that are their representative in politics, their representative in office. What are they doing? Those that have left office, what have they done? Those that want to come back to power, like Tinubu, that is rallying around now to come back to power. All his body language now is to come back to president. What has he done in Lagos State? What is the picture of Lagos State before Tinubu come to be, 1999? And what is the picture of Lagos State now? How far has he taken Lagos State from 1999 to date? And what can he offer Nigerian as a whole? So we should start holding them accountable for what they have done in the past, what they are doing presently, and what we have assigned them to do. Their election, their campaign promises. We should start holding them accountable to their campaign promises. You said you will do this. Why are you not doing it? So it is time for every one of us to start talking.
Okay.
Everyone, especially the youth, to be ready to take back their country from these old guys, because very soon they will go. We are the one that will be around. And
right.
if care is not taken, we are going to suffer the consequence of their ill actions now.
Okay, thank you, Tosin. And see, I want to say something before I open the floor. We are rounding up now. We spent an hour, so I'll just, if you have something you want to say to this issue that I have not asked, you have the opportunity to say it. But before then, I would want to say it is easier, which is something that I've also find strength in doing, in saying that it is the poor people that needs to organize. That we the people, we the youth, we need to organize. We the powerless people, we the masses need to organize. But the truth is that under this current setting in Nigeria, can the youth organize? Will they allow the poor to organize? Will they allow the youth to organize? You need to see what happened now. If they had not gone and fired shots directly to the youth in Lekki, answers could have led to something. We don't know. But the truth is that they understand it. And they know that if you are beginning to galvanize, they know, okay, these people are beginning to they are beginning to build momentum. You see that they hire people among you who are hungry and give them 500 or 5,000 and say, go and carry cutlass and beat them up. Everybody will run away now. So anyway, that's just my own thing on behalf of the poor less privileged people. We are already powerless. We have been chained. Our hands have been chained behind our backs, and so I think it
You
is high
are
time.
right. You are right to an extent, especially because of the Buhari-led administration. In this administration, the Buhari-led government have weaponized poverty among the against the Nigerian citizen. Now, it is this
It, ha-
administration that you
it has
see
been
people.
Tosin, it has
So
It
been
has
can I
been
before
like
come in,
Buhari
that,
came.
please?
but it is more magnified under this
Yeah.
administration. Nigerians has never been poor like this before. Vote buying has never been as this before.
Nala, it has always
You will
been.
agree with me.
Okay,
Wait,
guys.
wait,
Okay,
wait,
guys. Pause
Tosin.
I
there.
agree
Nigeria
with
has
Pause
never
there.
you.
been poor like this before. Unemployment has
I
never been
agree
like
with you,
this
Mr.
before.
Tosin. You are very correct, Mr. Tosin.
Let,
I agree with
let's
you.
hear let's hear from Village Boy.
You see, the approach of singling out individuals may not be a solution to this problem. There are two approaches to the problem. Sometimes there's what we call internal contradiction, whereby the elite themselves, somebody may just rise among the elite and say, look, hey, enough of all the way we are treating these people, it's not good enough. You know what happened if you read your history about, the president that said, okay, we have to put a stop to slave trade, then in US. So such situation may occur, but it's always very rare because it's also is like it takes a long to fight your own class. The other option is from if you go back to history, if you go to French Revolution, how was it instigated? People of letters who were writing about the ills of the society, they were, I mean, they kind of indirectly um, motivated people to gather together and say, look, hey, we've had enough. So the people of letters kind of motivated the occurrence of French Revolution, and that led to the independence. Is it people who enjoy power? One thing that goes with power is greed. They don't let go. Now it is left for the others to. You don't need everybody to organize. When you talk about the youth are not organized, you don't need all the youth to come to the table to effect exchange. You need some arrowheads. You need a handful of people who can mobilize, who can motivate, who can prick our conscience to say, look, hey, we are going to stand against this injustice. Even let me tell you, even the people we are going to fight for sometimes may not understand what you are doing at the beginning. So we need people who are resolute to find solution. You don't need the vast majority of the people. You just need a handful of people who are committed. Who, let me also tell you, who are not even mindful of dying in the process to effect a change in the society. And there is nowhere where the oppressor will say, oh, I have oppressed you enough. I am tired of oppressing you. Now I will stop oppressing you. It doesn't happen that way. It is either, like I said, one of the oppressors say, look, hey guys, we can't continue to manage this people like this. So, and the guy now takes side with the oppressed. Or some people out of the oppressed will rise up and say, look, we are taking this battle to the oppressors, and we are going to fight. Either we will lose or win. We are not going to give up. So that is how this thing will happen. And if we continue to name calling, will not solve the problem. Government is an institution. The system is the problem, not even the individuals. Today, if you bring the most pious person to rule in Nigeria, the system in Nigeria will choke the person up. The system in Nigeria will enslave the person. There are those what we call power behind powers. Those we see in the open as president, as governor, most of the time they are not the real rulers. The real rulers are behind the scene. And it is like that. Don't shake your head. It's like that almost everywhere. So it's not peculiar to Nigeria. So it is left for us to say, okay, we are far enough. We rather do something or we continue to suffer. And we say, okay, either we do something, we suffer, either we don't do something, we will suffer. Somebody said, I can't remember the actual author now. It was not, it was not the line, what is that his name? That one also quoted it, but he didn't acknowledge the person who said it. Somebody wrote it. If you speak the truth, you will die. If you don't speak the truth, you will die. Why not just speak the truth and die at once? So this part of engagement we are having and others like this are those things that we eventually lead to this thing. Don't let us despise this little beginnings, this little conversation we are having here and there. Remember the kind of conversation we are having today, the kind of engagement we are having on Twitter, they were not happening 10 years ago. They were not happening 15 years ago. And don't think that everybody will come to the level of the same understanding at the same time. Let me also put this in perspective for those of us who live abroad. The kind of embarrassment that we suffer with green passport it has been long. It is 20, 30, 40 years ago. It did not just start today. It may be escalating, no doubt about that. Many of us, that's many of us when who had the privilege now of another passport, we use that one more than we use the green passport. Well, not that we are not patriotic, but we know the kind of thing we suffer in the past. So no matter how well dressed you are, the moment you see that passport, they say, okay. I've been at the airport where we miss our flights, and some people are taking the five-star hotel, and those of us who are holding lesser passport are taking to uh, what we call the backyard hotel for the night. So we see this differential treatment. It has been long. It is not. It did not just Saturday, and that is the more reason we have to work to get our country back. And it is you and I that will do it. We are people of letters. We are people that are enlightened. That is why I kind of like this kind of engagement where we are talking. Don't think that we are talking for fun. Don't think that we are wasting our time. You don't know the effect this talk will have on people. So let us continue. But when we are doing this, let us filter what we say. Let us not mar our conversation by bringing issues that are very too elementary, issues that are too petty. Let us, filter our statement and make sure that they are not petty in nature. Let us address issues. Let us, be conceptual. Let us conceptualize our conversation. That is how we can appeal to people, to senses. But the moment we bring a petty issue, they will first be addressing those petty issues, and they will forget the main issue. So let us focus. Let us focus on what we are addressing. Like for today, the issue of Pantani, we are looking at the issue of impunity. We are looking at the issue of lack of accountability. We are looking at the issue of lack of consequences for any action that people in government take. This should not be acceptable. These are the things we should speak against. If we can avoid it, let us forget individuals, office holder for now. Let us address issues. Why is government not accountable to the citizen?
No,
It
sir.
is beyond the individual.
Okay. Thank you,
We
Village Boy.
cannot
Thank you.
for,
Those is wait, I see. I understand the Village Boy's perspective, but at the same time, I underlined something when you were talking, and that is we should focus on the system and not the individuals. But the truth is that individuals actually constitute systems, and some people will never get it right until they are made. In fact, I know people in my life, because people around them never confronted them with the issues. They never change. They never admit that they were wrong. Okay. Anyway, that's moving on from there. Let's hear from Nicodemus. Nicholas. Is it? It's
It's
Nicodemus.
Nicodemus now.
Okay, I'm right. Your concluding statement, bro.
Sorry.
Uh, this Nigeria
Yeah,
city happen.
I'm having sorry, I'm having a network issue.
Yeah, I understand.
But my conclusion, yeah, my concluding statement is that with the fact that we've all deliberated and we know our problem, we know the problem of Nigeria, and the solution is that desensitization, which I said earlier, then listening to Village Boy and Mr. Tosin and Mr. Mike and yourself and my other brother. Sorry, I can't see the name very clearly.
Timilein.
Timileyin, we just have to keep pushing. You might be doing it, you feel like, oh, what I'm doing, I'm not doing enough. But it's actually helping in one way or the other. We should not relent. We should not say, oh, is futile, but it will definitely generate fruit one day. Sensitization is something that we must keep doing with our close ones, even when you are in a circle of friends, no matter how the number, you talk, they will take something away from that conversation to better Nigeria. Because we can't fold our arms and close our eyes to where this government is leading.
Uh-oh. Nigeria has happened to him.
Okay, so Nigeria happened. Nigeria just happened to him now. Timilein.
Thank you.
He's back though, but you see, this is where we should start our fight from. This internet, they need to fix it because there is so much power in it, and I think perhaps they are deliberately refusing to fix the internet. Well, but then what about the electricity also? A friend of mine, a Kenyan, sent me a link a few days ago, and when I opened it, it was a page in Kenya where they have over 3 million people, where they just posted it. That according to a particular report, that only 1 out of 10 Nigerians have access to electricity. Anyway, Tulane.
Okay, thank you. It's been a beautiful conversation. I mean, every one of us has heard our opinion about the happenings in the country. So, what I will conclude with is that we should remember that Nigeria has the population of the over 62% of the Nigerian population is below 25 years, and only 5%, only less than 5% are above 60 years. So if there is any change that is going to be happening in that country, it's going to be among the youths. So now we all agree that the system has weaponized poverty and has made people to lose interest in governance, in politics. So they chase money. So youth are more passionate about money, and we are in a digital age. Youth are doing a lot to get money, and it is working for a lot of people, right? So if we can be so passionate about our country, if as much as we are passionate about being rich, being wealthy, normally youth in other countries, in decent societies, as the village boy said, they don't, it's not as if they are not chasing money, but they are not chasing it as aggressively as we do at home, because there are social programs, there are opportunities that would allow youth to flourish normally if you have proper skill set. So in our country, whether you have the skill set or not, you still languish in poverty some way or the other, you find yourself in wretchedness. So I believe if we can be passionate about our country, and as much as we are doing now, we can do more, we can do better, and just make people, inspire people to be passionate about our country. I believe there is one thing about youth in Nigeria: it's either they are looking for money or they are looking for ways to leave the country. So, and that is leaving the country in a place of jeopardy already. So if we can be so passionate about the country, we can actually be passionate even from outside. from abroad, we can be passionate about our country, we can still reach out to people. That is one thing we are doing right here. So we can still do a lot and get involved in politics. I cannot I don't know. There is no better way to put it. But we must be involved in politics. We must be among the policymakers. There is no way we can be making policies that will favor youths if youths are not there. I mean, not in PDP and APC per se. There should be a political movement for the youth and by the youth. Because really, we are the future of that country. We've been told this thing so many years. For so many years, for decades, we've been told that we are the future of the country. When is the future? If not now.
Okay. Thank you, Timilei. And I don't want to sound like Judas, but the truth is, it's almost becoming like a rhetoric now that it's difficult for me to even believe. You know, recently I'm now beginning to feel like I'm no longer a youth. Oh. So when will my time come? So now I'm fighting for people below my age. You know, I'm trying to educate them. That's what I'm doing now. Just maybe because it's almost useless. If I'm going to talk to Michael now, at the end of the day, see, these people will not let you. They know if they will not let you reach out. I mean, reach your potentials, personal potentials. You know, check out. It's sad, but that's just the reality. Michael,
You are muted, Mike.
Bila is saying I don't have to put himself.
Not yet.
Can you hear me, please?
Yeah.
All right. My own concluding statement is this: elephant with multiple gunshots. And when I talk of multiple gunshots, we are talking of insecurity, unemployment, poor infrastructure, and the big elephant is staggering, looking for where to collapse. But for this big elephant not to collapse, it is a responsibility of everyone, home and abroad, young or old, and what have you, to be part of the rescue mission of this staggering elephant. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's hope that the elephant finds succor. Tosin.
Yeah, my conclusion, I will want every Nigerians, most Nigerians are passionate about Nigerian. It's just that there's fear in the people to talk. And when I start talking also, the fear also was created, was introduced to me, but I rejected it. But so I want to encourage people that are watching us today to keep talking about Nigerian and the Nigerian of their dream. And they should not stop talking. Nigeria, as we have it today, is going through a lot. And I'm very young, but in the years that I've lived, I've never seen Nigeria and Nigerians suffer like we have it presently under the present administration, Muhammadu Buhari. I like to mention people's name because when history is written, their name will be on it. I am Oluwatosin Akingbade Omigbiegbe, and when history is written about anything I do, my name will be on it. It is our inability to mention their name and to speak the truth to their face that their corruption keep growing by the day. If we start mentioning their name, we see their children, we start embarrassing them. Your father is a thief. Nigeria will start getting change. Nigeria will not change if we are still scared of them. Nigeria will not change if we still want to be pretend as if things will get better. As it is today, things will not get better until every one of us will start speaking. We start holding people in power accountable. We start mentioning their name in particular. If they have been telling Sheyi Tinubu that the father is a thief, the killings that happen at Lekki will not happen. But because we are pretending the father is not a thief and the father is good, and is bringing up people and is making them governor in each state, and is seeing the father as a good guy. That is why the killing at Lekki happen, and they switch off the light and kill people. So this is me. I like to mention people's name and mention
Uh,
what they are not doing right. Everything that is happening today, Patami is not behaving well, should be sacked by now or resign, but it's not happening. It's happening under Buhari-led administration. So that
yeah.
Buhari kid in the future, Yusuf and Zara, we know that their father led Nigeria at a point and it didn't do well. The children
Okay,
of
Tosin.
Abacha can come today to claim the money their father stole, because people are going around and presenting Abacha to be a good guy, and the Abacha family, they have the effrontery to come to claim the money their father stole.
Well, unfortunately, that's Nigeria for us. Anyway, we've
So
come to the
we will
to the
keep we will
we've
keep
come to the
mentioning their
close of
names
this
so that
debate, Tosin.
their name will be on the internet, that they are thieves. Their children can see, their great grandchildren can see that the money they came to inherit is our collective money, but their great grandparents stole from all of us.
All right, Tosin, thank you. Thank you very much, our viewers, for joining us. This is Opinion Sharers, where your voice matters. So we'll be here again next weekend. There's an article written by Esther Kalu, and I read it. When I was reading it, I laughed and laughed and laughed. He wrote it about Nigerian men, dating Nigerian men. Please quickly go to our website. It's on Opinion Sharers, opinionsharers.com. Please find the article, and it's also on this on our YouTube page. Sorry, Facebook page as well. You can see the link there. So please do read it, and do have a beautiful Sunday. Thank you so much from all of us here. Thank you.
Thanks.